Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's Community Voice. I'm your host, Sherry, and I am the president of the Chamber. And today's guest speaker is Janice Chrysler. Her business is Mindful Journey at Imarmara. She's a new member to the Chamber, so hopefully everyone will take the opportunity in the comments and welcome her to the Chamber as a new member. Today, Janice is with us to talk to us about her business and what she does. And then she's also going to talk to us about an upcoming event that is starting on Monday. And Janice, if I can actually turn this over to you, and welcome to the Chamber.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that the Chamber is opening up to Madoc and District because I feel it's very important that we all work together. Yeah, I have been in business here since 2005. I'm a metaphysical minister, Reiki master, certified hypnotherapist, and author. My main focus now is on workshops. I do see people privately via Zoom, and those have been going very well. One of my passions all my life has been women's equality. And growing up in the 70s and 80s, if any of you out there who have done the same, you know that was kind of a key time. I can remember actually as a teenager in the 70s, almost wishing I had to have been a teenager in the 60s because I just loved all the funky clothes and the marches and everything else. So I did my fair share in this area. I've always lived in Marmora and Madoc, went to school in Madoc. And so, I took part at the age of 13 in protests so that women could wear pants and the girls didn't have to just wear dresses all the time to school, and started to kind of get a name for myself as, oh, here she goes, So, but that's okay. So I'm about starting new things, and I guess that's maybe one of the reasons that I do what I do. Mindful Journey was a new idea in this area. It's not that the ideas are new, but I've enjoyed my own journey and sharing that with other people. And I was very honored to be part of the Hastings County Wellness when it started up a few years ago. And the purpose of that was to bring awareness to Hastings County and all the holistic and wellness providers, service providers, practitioners in the area, which introduced me to all of these people. And it was from that I had the idea to celebrate International Women's Day with a Women in Wellness Expo. So I called upon these women, and we're all pretty much sole entrepreneurs. So you tend to stick to yourself. So not only is this an event that brings awareness to the community of the services and products that we have, but it brings us together to talk about our businesses, to talk about, oh, I'm doing this, and maybe you have a service I can use. And one of the amazing things that I've always loved about any holistic or wellness group that I've been involved with, that they've grasped the concept right off the get-go of collaborating rather than competing with one another. And I think that's so important for our small businesses, is that we look at ways, rather than trying to be better than everybody else or a competition, is how can we work together? And so that's one of these things that this expo, certainly, I know for all of us as vendors, that we looked forward to coming. Now, of course, this year with COVID, I had usually decide, well, when one event is over with, start planning for the next year. And in September, I made the decision that this would be virtual rather than in person. And I'm glad I did, because I think it would be a little hard to do. And most of the vendors all jumped on board with doing interviews. We've had interviews with our vendors. Those are going to be posted on our Women in Wellness Facebook page beginning March 1st. All of them, you'll probably notice, they'll end up having their interviews popping up on their own Facebook pages, on our Women in Wellness website, just to get to know these people better, their story, and the services they provide. They're all from Hastings County, most of them in the Center Hastings area. So nobody is far away. We're all here. We're all still in business, and that was part of it too, to make it virtual, so people know that we still are having our business. We maybe had to adapt it to how we do it, and that we're alive and well in Center Hastings, and and hopefully everybody will share all this so that outside of our area will also recognize how what a growing wellness and holistic area this is. Um, it's been great to have the support of the communities. I live in Marmara, as Sherry said, and back in 2015, I went to council and asked if they would declare March 1st to 8th as International Women's Week, because one day is not enough. And the reason we did that is once Women in Wellness started, it started actually in 2013. And we had other businesses wanting to take part in it, but I just didn't have room. We are full in the space that we have. And so we got chatting, and I said, well, it's no reason that other businesses cannot support and promote International Women's Day. And so then that's when we came up with the idea, well, let's have it a whole week long. We're going to, so the stores in the area that want to take part, they will put purple and white bows out in front of their store. They'll put something up in there that, you know, talks about International Women's Day. Maybe they have special offers, workshops, talks, all those sorts of things. And so this year, with being virtual, we've all kind of, you know, kind of thought of ways that we can celebrate this via Zoom, Facebook, all those sorts of things. So it doesn't mean that because of COVID, we don't do anything. We just find a way to do it and do it maybe better and reach more people. That has been the plus of all of this. It's forced some of us to look at different ways of promoting ourselves. And I mean, I have people come to my meditations now that are in British Columbia. We had somebody from Florida the one time. I've had people from just all over where they wouldn't have drove to Marmara for an hour-long meditation class, but via Zoom, there they are. And for things like this as well. So we're really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to sharing these interviews with you. We always had a guest speaker at this event. That's kind of what made this expo a little unique, is that we'd have the regular expo all day, and then at the evening, we'd have our door prizes, we'd have a guest speaker, and then a guided meditation. So those things are still going on. And for that day as well, we always have given a donation to the Three Oaks Foundation and to the Sexual Assault Center. The vendors that are being interviewed are all doing something in their own way to give back to those organizations. We're keeping that tradition up. So watch the interviews to find out how you can help them to help these two worthwhile groups. And then we are having a guest speaker that will be aired on March 8th.
Excellent. So how many speakers, Janice, do you have this year by any chance?
We have 18.
Wow.
18 speakers. Yeah, so we usually have between around 17 vendors. And then we have someone cater the event for food. Last year, I squeezed in 19 vendors. And so, yeah, there was only a couple this year that didn't feel comfortable doing an interview through Zoom, and that's certainly understandable. So yeah, I was really excited when I got adding them up and realized, oh wow, all of them are here. This is great. So a huge thank you out to them for doing that. And it also teaches us and reminds us about patience and working around internet glitches and things. I had to redo the whole first day that I had
oh dear.
because of that. But that's, you know, that's good. I always say working with the internet is like working with pets and children. They're unpredictable. So you just just go with it.
Oh, wow. So you got 18 interviews. That's great. So how many posts are you going to do a day for each day of the week? Are what can people expect each day of the week?
Also, starting on March 1st and throughout, we'll have 3 interviews each day. And like I said, we'll end it with the guest speaker, and then my guided meditation as well will be online as well. And we just really encourage everybody to love, comment, and share those posts so that you're helping those small business and just making everyone aware that Women in Wellness Expo isn't going away anywhere. We're all still there, and we're really, of course, hoping that we can do this in person again next year. Because celebrating International Women's Day itself is extremely important. That's how this event started. And then it's grown into this week-long event with women and wellness still being kind of the anchor in it all. So I'm very happy about all of that. So I look
That's
forward
great.
to, I really like doing the interviews. It was great.
Well, one thing about you still have the opportunity to meet with the local businesses and, get to know some of them may have been longtime members and event participants, and you maybe had a few new ones on there too. And it's always good to see all the new ones coming on board. So I would really like to encourage everyone to hopefully take and participate and view what's happening on Women in Wellness. Now, Janice, what is the Facebook page for Women in Wellness? Do you have can you type it in the chat for us? What the Facebook link is?
I should have had that ready. I may have to put that in after, like it is just under Women in Wellness. I think if you type that in Facebook, I think we're the only ones that'll come up for that. Our website we have for it is behind me. Unfortunately, it's quite long because it's actually healingcirclemeditation.wordpress.com. And that reason it's that name is because when this first started, I had Healing Circle Meditation weekly, and it was that circle of women that was in that meditation group that helped me organize the first International Women's Day event, which was a community meditation circle, and where we talked about the history of International Women's Day, and then it just grew. That was in 2011, and it just grew until 2013. We decided let's go and have an expo. So it was their page about their meditation classes, and I just kind of converted it over. So they're still very much, I still think of them as very much a part of it. As I looked last year, as I looked out over all the vendors, and I realized how many of them started in, or all of us started in that meditation class as a beginning of our journey, and how professional they all were with their banners and their tables and their products and their services. And I just thought how awesome it is that this shows what can happen when you come together and support one another and encourage one another instead of trying to figure out how you can outdo somebody.
Yes.
We're all there, 19 of us supporting one another, and this was our common ground, how we came to know each other. And you're right, most of them have been with it since it started.
Wow,
there might be
that's
2
great.
or 3 new people that came on board. Yeah, I
That's
have a waiting list.
Oh, wow. So maybe next year when we can all get out into the community and have events again, we're going to see more than 20 vendors now. We could possibly see up to maybe 30. Oh, what a great event.
Well, if I had a big enough space, that's the problem. We've run out of room. We hold this in the second Saturday in March, and it's in the community center above the arena in Marmara. And I've already taken over the viewing section that to some people's dismay that come there to watch hockey, and we've now got it filled with tables and things. But and I had someone last year up on the stage, so I think I've pretty well maxed out that space.
Well, I guess we need to find
anything bigger.
Yeah, we'll have to find a new home for it then. That's for sure. Wow. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. That just shows the progress of people wanting to participate and everything. And so that's wonderful. Now, I would also like to encourage everyone, all business women, all women in particular, March 1st to 8th, everybody in our communities, please put out your purple and white ribbons. If it's on your door or at the end of your driveway, because we have a lot of home-based businesses, please put out the ribbons. Let our neighbors know that this is a week of celebration for sure. So,
you don't have to be in Marmara to do it. Do it in the Madoc area and everything, because what we found here was people were starting to ask, why has everybody got those bows out? Great way, open conversation. We're supporting one another. And if you look around your communities, the majority of them are owned, operated by women. So guys, we appreciate you, but we took a long time to get here. So we deserve to have the recognition and let people know.
Yeah, I can honestly tell you, according to the stats that I have researched out, when I first moved into the area a few years back, the stats had indicated that 90% of the business owners in Marmara, Madoc, and Tweed are women. And that's huge. That's a huge
It
stat
is.
to have. And so
Mhm.
yeah, it's interesting. It's incredible that all the business owners basically really do support each other and help through difficult times. So kudos to all of us. All of us that are out there
Exactly.
working. Yeah. So now I would like to ask: is there any questions from the audience that they might like to ask Janice in regards to what's happening with the event next week, or in regards to her business at all? No, I guess everyone's going to be quiet today. Oh, no, we have one.
I just want to say this is awesome to know. This is new to me. Like I'm just being introduced to this. I moved here to this area 3.5 years ago, and I was involved in a women's group, a couple of women's groups actually, in the Brampton, Mississauga, Hamilton area. So, and I hadn't found any groups, women and wellness type groups in this area until today. So this is fantastic. This is great to know. So I'm going to do lots of research. I'll probably have lots of, more questions later on, but great to know. Really great to know. Yeah.
Well, welcome. And yeah, we're very much alive and well here. It's taken some doing, but every year our expo grows and grows, and we've all been very happy with it. The weather gods have supported us, even though it's March. We've had really cold weather, but we've yet to be canceled because of bad weather. And I think everybody would probably still try to show up. I'm amazed at where the people come from for this. We last year we had the Girl Guides take part in it to kind of wait at the door, and I had them ask them to use a guest book there to have people write in where they came from. We had people from London, Ontario.
Wow.
A couple of women came down. They said it was a nice day. They had seen this on Facebook or an article written somewhere. I can't remember where. Actually, I think we had an article go in the Brighton newspaper, and then from there they saw it. I don't know, but anyway, they came from London. They came there in the morning. It runs from 11 till 5, and because we have chairs set up, and because I think we have that guest speaker and meditation, people tend to congregate. They sit there and chat. They grab their lunch, and it's a day-long event. And it's it's just amazing where people will actually drive from. So there's an energy that pulls them in. So we're very happy to be offering that.
Well, that's
and
great.
yeah, Karen asked questions. It's great.
Yeah.
And thank you, Darcel. I see she posted in and I think Sherry did too, in the chat, our Facebook link too.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. That's great. It's always great to hear that outside people from our communities are coming in to see our local events. It's great because it just shows, brings a little bit more business into the communities as well. And yeah, it's wonderful. And yes, I have to agree with Darcella. Thank you. Welcome, Karen, to the community. And hopefully, I'm your local chamber representative, the president there. So please feel free to reach out to me anytime. And Janice, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us about your business and what's happening with your event next week. Awesome. Just looking forward to sitting down and going through each of the videos from everyone. So
yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, well, thank you for joining us for this week's edition of Community Voice. And we will next week we'll be bringing on our another new member to the chamber, and that's Cottage Country Lifestyle Magazine is going to be joining us, and the owner Kelly Welsh. So it's going to be an interesting day next week as well, hearing about what's happening in the magazine world and the cottage country world. So anyways, once again, thank you, Janice, and all the best with your event next week. And everyone, put out those purple and white ribbons. Let's celebrate with Janice and everyone in the world for International Women's Day. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.